They do have a timeout. Decide not to use it. Curry, way downtown. Bang! Bang! Oh, what a shot from Curry! With 0.6 of a second remaining.
Yo, what's up, everybody? This is the Outlet Pass Podcast, episode 11. I'm your resident JT McConnell, the homie's homie. More importantly, my real name, Justin DiVirgilio, and tonight with me on the line up in Boston, as always, my great friend Dante Parentozzi. How you doing tonight on this late night, Don?
What a day. Trade deadline was today. What a day. Let's get it.
Yeah, we might as well just get right to the shits. And
right to it.
This doesn't have to do with it, but I'll get it there. We're going to start with John Wall. Yesterday came out that he is out a year. He already got surgery on his Achilles, I believe, and he re-injured it by slipping some way in his house. And we posted something to have a little lighthearted. Obviously, prayers to John Wall. We want him to recover and come back better than ever, right? Right, Don?
That's the hope. I'm a John Wall guy.
Okay. So
accident.
So I posted on the Instagram yesterday, like, what do you think he did? We got one that I liked. I forgot who it was. So, but shout out to you if you listen. You might know him. He said, "I'm playing online poker," because it happened to him once. I thought that was the funniest one. That was the best one. And I didn't get the post one, but I was thinking he was like in his old school hip hop bag. So he's like, listen to MC Hammer, and he tried to hammer dance because he was just feeling it.
Busting too much. Yeah.
And that's what happened. So he's out a year with his Achilles after slipping. It sucks. And the Wizards obviously locked up to him. Next year's extension kicks in where he makes the first year's $38 million a year. So really good. And he's probably not playing next year either.
Because he's not going to play next year, correct. He's going to miss an entire year.
Yeah, he's going to.
It's very unfortunate.
It sucks because he's had leg issues before. He's had knee injuries and stuff like that. And he's the fastest or second fastest player from basket to basket in the league. Him and Russell Westbrook are the two. So that can hinder that.
Both those guys get these type of injuries. They're both, think about another fast guy, Derrick Rose. These guys got to utilize their explosiveness. Exactly. Something goes bad. It's a shame. John Wall, I like him because he's like about that life. Like he'll get into a fight, which is classic. Like he'll throw hands.
Him and KD are, well, I don't know if KD, but they're definitely sensitive. Similarly, I can't even speak. They're sensitive in a similar way. Jeez.
Yeah, I feel that.
That's gonna be that. Yo, I wish I knew like tech savvy people, or I could just do it. Just throw my stuttering on a loop right there. All right, back to John Wall and the Wizards, because this is important because they're gonna be out, so they should try and be as bad as possible. So I guess they're starting as they traded Otto Porter Jr. to the Chicago Bulls, and they've traded Markieff Morris to where'd he go? I forget. New Orleans. Yes, there it goes. And they traded the pick, but the Wizards got Jabari Parker, Bobby Portis, and a second-round pick. And then from New Orleans, the Wizards got Wesley Johnson. So these are all pretty much expiring contract either this year or next year. So it's just smart. And they kept Bradley Beal, and there was a report that they're going to keep Bradley Beal for next year. So they're keeping those guys, and now they're just going to have to start from square one. But
they realize how good Brad Beal is. Yeah, they're going to have to. He's a good player. He's good, and they're valuing him, and that's good. They're not going to have a great season next year either. Hopefully they get a good pick, and then by the time John Wall comes back, it's a quick fix. Hopefully. They still got a lot to go through in the East, but we'll get there, right, baby?
Yeah, we'll definitely
talk about those Bulls.
It's a tall climb to the top of the East, and the Sixers are prepared to make that climb. So first things first, before we get into what everybody was talking about today on February 7th, 2019, the trade deadline, a lot of shit happened. But in this crucial stretch of games so far, the Sixers are 7-4. Good spot. And we're going to rewind because I really want to talk about the Sixers' big win in Golden State. What was your reaction watching the game?
They were really pumping it, bro. Everyone brought it that night. Everyone knew what it meant to one another. They lost how many straight to the Warriors?
10 or 11.
Yeah, it's at that point it's just like, let's just really bust our hump. You could tell, the Sixers won that game and then followed up with the loss in the Kings. You could tell how much they poured into that game.
Yeah,
against the Warriors. You could tell. You could see it, how bad they wanted it. When Ben Simmons is going to the basket like that, you could tell the dude really wants it.
I hate that the Sixers repeated last year's loss to Sacramento because they could have won that game. But back to the win in Oracle, yeah, it was awesome game to watch. I had work, so I came and watched it later. I watched pretty much the whole second half. Then I rewatched the game because I wanted to see what they did well against the best team in the league. But in the moment, and key contributors who are no longer here stepped up with those guys. And we're not really supposed to beat the Warriors. Although the Warriors did not have Klay Thompson, they do still have Kevin Durant and Steph Curry. Guess what, guys? Steph Curry hit 10 threes that night.
Yeah, he's crazy.
And the good part,
I want to point this out. Okay, no, you got it.
Yeah, the good part about that is Steph Curry hitting 10 threes. One of the reasons we won, the Warriors only hit 11 threes. Now go what you were saying.
Yeah, I wanted to say, did you realize how Joel, as soon as it was one of Brett Brown's best called games in terms of the use of his timeouts and when he used Embiid. When he saw Boogie go out, he's like, all right, let's go, Embiid. Let's get it. It's your time to eat. It was easier for him on the block going against, who was their backup center? It was Barbecue Chicken, Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's how that goes. And Joel took advantage of that. He did you could tell he was gassed a little bit. But he emptied that tank, bro, and that's what you got to do, and you got to respect that.
He was fighting for rebounds because he had 20 rebounds on the night.
Yeah, he was ripping them down.
So you got to have somebody. But this game featured Ben Simmons' best game as an NBA player. He went 10 of 13, 26, 8 rebounds, 6 assists, 3 steals, and a block. And he had a great block on Steph Curry in the fourth quarter where he just closed out the extra inch without fouling and knocked the ball from even going towards the rim. And if he just commits like that every night, which I believe he will, man, it's scary with him now.
It's scary, bro.
Even without the jumper.
He really is that boy. They kept saying, I was listening to the players only, when they cover the games. Yeah. They were saying how, when Ben Simmons is determined to make a bucket down low, he'll get to the basket with his shot. When he's determined to do it with the one. He doesn't do it often.
But because he gets
into his spot. He gets into his spot, and he can go elevate over them because he's strong. And he's fucking big.
He's more athletic. I shouldn't curse
anymore. Ty knocks him, but he's more athletic than them. Yeah, you're right. And he's really comfortable with those little one-handed little pops.
It was a real valiant defensive effort. And another interesting thing is something I complain about the Sixers regularly, as you do as well. Pronounce that word right. Let's go. Is that they had 19 turnovers on the night.
It's frustrating.
But they won.
But look, the Warriors had a ton of points off turnovers. That was the stat they kept showing that game. We weren't getting really points off turnovers earlier in the game.
Let me correct you real quick. Well, early in the game, but they finished out at 14-14 points off turnovers.
Yeah, but remember in turnovers or points off turnovers?
Points off turnovers.
Oh, but remember in the beginning it was bad. It was bad. They were doing crappy ones.
Yeah, in the second quarter.
It almost reminded me of there wasn't there was a disconnect at that point in the game, but then happily they pulled it together.
The Warriors made the ball for them. Yeah, the Warriors made their one and only real run in the second quarter where they pulled away by at least 20 at one point. But then the Sixers did another uncharacteristic thing of the Sixers, and they played a way better second half than the first half. Look at this. They scored 42 points in the third quarter to the Warriors 26.
Wow.
And then the fourth quarter obviously slowed down. Both teams split it 18-18. And like I said, a lot of big buckets and contributions and just effort plays by guys who are no longer here. Wilson Chandler, I believe, got hurt in this game. No, he played. He hit some timely threes, timely defensive plays, rebounds. Mike Muscala had a timely block after the Ben Simmons block, the one I mentioned earlier in the fourth quarter. And then the professional rookie, because if you were watching basketball for the first time, you would never thought this guy was a rookie. Landry Shamet probably hit a three on the most beautiful transition ball I've seen the Sixers play, swinging it. Jonah Bolden had a beautiful pass to the left corner.
When he came in and then dished it to the left.
In the third quarter,
loving that play. That was a good look by Jonah. That was when they were steamrolling back, and it was just like that was like the icing on the cake. Like, all right, we're coming, mother effers.
It was the third quarter. I know what you're talking about though. The block and then made the 4-point play in the second half. Landry did that as well. Man, props to Landry. We'll talk more about you. Props to you.
Yeah, he's a good. Yeah, all respect to him.
Damn, he's on.
What else we got there? We got a lot of stuff, boy, with them Sixers.
Well, yeah. And another thing is we're staying in the crucial stretch real quick. I just want to throw this stat out there before we get all positive. Got to bring us down, then we go up. Got to stay humble. We're 1-6 combined versus the Raptors, Bucks, and Celtics this season. The Sixers. So we're all above us. And all three teams, 2 teams got stronger today. We'll get to them. And one team is obviously the Celtics, and we saw what they did to us last year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's every team has improved their case somewhat in the past couple of days. Would you say?
Every team, yeah, I think.
And who would you say had the biggest stamp on their team? Would that be us with the Tobias Harris trade?
Yeah, and that is we're actually going to do buy or sell on that. So it's between us and someone else, which will be revealed in buy or sell.
Okay.
Doing a little tease there. You guys got to listen to the end. That's when buy or sell happens. So now, let's start with Tobias Harris, since you mentioned him. Reaction to the trade. When did you see it? What did you think when you saw it?
I woke up at 6:30. My stomach was actually hurting. Literally dead serious. Woke up, saw it, and I'm like, wow, this is crazy. But my stomach hurts. What do I do? Text people, go back to sleep. This is crazy. Back to sleep. Thoughts for the next 2 hours while I laid there without looking at my phone. I then see the phone, everybody woken up like, yo, look what happened, like blah, blah. And then I see Landry Shamet's name 2 hours later. And I was sick that we gave up that. But then I was like, all right, if that's the worst we really gave up, we gave away Muscala. I really didn't like him. Wilson Chandler's hurt half the season, not going to lie. And, I like Landry, but whatever. Tobias Harris. Then I see we get rid of that pick. I still don't know how I feel about it. Don't get me wrong. Tobias Harris is a good-ass player. I have a little pause about that pick. But then I said to myself, I was like, dude, all we did was get rid of Bridges to later get Zaire.
Yeah.
Who isn't even playing. But Landry probably was going to produce better than both of those players were this year.
Yeah.
So I'm okay with it. I'm totally okay with this trade. I think we have a great chance of him this summer. So kudos to Elton Brand. Killing it.
I'm glad you mentioned Markelle Bridges. Because all you sensitive people, because it's a feel-good story that Markelle Bridges got drafted to the pro NBA team, the Sixers, where in the same state he went to school, where he went to Villanova, and his mom worked for the team, and they traded him on draft night about maybe 45 minutes after for Zaire Smith, a Miami unprotected pick in 2021. They just flipped that pick for not just Zaire Smith, but Tobias Harris, who is the only player in the NBA besides Steph Curry this season to average over 20 points a game, 49% from the field, 43% from the three-point line, and 87% from the free throw line.
Those are serious numbers.
Make sure you replay that or just listen again. I mean, he's in the same class as Steph Curry with those stats this season. The only unanimous MVP in NBA history, Steph Curry. So Tobias Harris also, as I'm on this rant, All-Star snub. Should be in the All-Star game.
Should be.
100%. Because
I really question why LaMarcus deserved that respect this year. But, I digress.
Yeah. But I'm just thinking about it now. If you're mentioned in the same breath as Steph Curry in any season, you were probably an All-Star that year.
Yeah. Now we're not directly saying, just for any fans that want to question this, we're not directly saying that Tobias Harris is in the same class as Steph Curry.
No,
because we're not crazy pills.
But those stats,
when we look at these stats and especially the efficiency, these guys stand up with the points per game. That's a big. Not many guys can do that with the points. There's sharpshooters out there that can hit those numbers, but they can't do the 20 points a game. That's why it's so tough.
Yeah.
Shout out to Tobias Harris though.
Oh, and by the way,
almost knew a Sixer. I was going to say latest Sixer, but he's not.
Oh, and by the way, just more Tobias Harris stuff. In case you guys maybe sometimes like Robert Covington, he's pretty much the same. He does the same thing, except he can actually create his own shot and get his own shot from anywhere if he wants to. He's a good one-on-one player. He can handle the ball. We know Robert Covington couldn't. So now you got that guy who can play almost as well as he can on defense as offense. You have him and Jimmy Butler now? The Sixers have a serious starting five. We only have one defensive liability. I keep saying we because my bias comes out. But J.J. Redick is the only defensive liability.
Mm-hmm.
Because now you got 6'7" on the perimeter, 6'9" on the perimeter, 6'10". And then you got 7'2" down low. Just, hey, hanging out, waiting. What's up? You're going to get processed if you come down here.
Stamp that.
And Tobias Harris is not the only person in this deal, because this deal gets a little more lighthearted and fun, because we got Boban Marjanovic, who is one of the most entertaining NBA players currently. And I can't wait to see him, Tobias Harris, and Joel Embiid make an Instagram video at some point this season.
Likely to happen.
Oh, I can't wait. And then we also got Mike Scott, who has been around the league for a little while, is similar to Wilson Chandler, and he's also replacing the amount of tattoos Wilson Chandler had. So
yes, I was going to ask how he was similar to Wilson. Was it by tats or by player ability?
Both.
First thought was tats, though. First thought was tats. Going to be honest. Those, what are they, bro? Does he have little cartoon characters on him?
There's some emoji tattoos.
Savage.
Emoji tats.
Wow. That's crazy.
So, what do we grade in this trade for Tobias Harris? Do they?
Well, I'll say right now it's a A-.
Okay.
But it could be if he signs this off season, it's an A+. Because really, what did you give up for at the end of the day? What did you really give up for it? Not much.
Yeah. The thing is, because I like that Miami pick too. You know that that's documented.
I do. We've discussed that. But we do like it. But
that's an 8. That's like a magic 8 ball. We're seeing if it is bad or it's a good pick. It's remain to be seen.
Yeah, we slid down in the draft.
Yeah.
And we didn't. It's an unknown. It's an unknown, and we have something right now. And Elton Brand wants to cook with it.
Yeah, because the Miami Heat are trending down. So that's the only reason that can be a bad trade or a bad thing to give up. But you also still have the position's fine. But then what you do with your position in the draft is if that's a good pick or not. Because where to go? We traded with the Clippers. Clippers are actually a good team of drafting because they have been in the past, and I'm sure they are now because they have Jerry West on there.
Jerry West is really running that.
Yeah, we'll get back to that.
Clean operation.
Oh, super clean. It's the logo, baby. What else would he do?
Yeah.
I bet some of y'all didn't know that either. The NBA logo, that's Jerry West. Tall white dude, number 44. Lakers, purple and gold. Back in the 70s. Now, I would agree with you. Another question. How likely is it from a scale of 1 to 10 that we the Sixers re-sign Tobias Harris and Jimmy Butler?
The question shouldn't be and. It should be an or. I know the wishful thinking is we can get both.
Can I stop you right there real quick? I say end because that is the best lineup that we have to have. I think that could be our lineup for the next 3 years, and we could deal with that. That's the best lineup we're probably ever going to be able to construct in the next 3 years.
So what's going to happen when you got to pay Ben Simmons next year?
You got to finagle them. Somebody's got to finagle the money. That's why.
Well, it ain't going to be Jimmy.
Well, we'll see. I mean, we'll see what happens because then JJ's definitely taking a pay cut. I forgot to add him in that question because then JJ helped.
He's going to have to.
No,
you think he'll stay?
I think he's gonna, especially if they just if they light it up and the Sixers get to the finals, he's staying.
Yeah.
JJ Redick's never even been to the conference finals. I don't think he wasn't on the Magic when they went in 09. I'm
really? He was
positive.
He not?
Hold on, talk while I look that up. Because my brain's everywhere.
Well, people don't discuss. I know we'll obviously get to it later, but Elton Brand made some good decisions with money.
Oh, we can praise Elton Brand the whole time. Oh, he was on the conference finals team.
He was. I thought he was. But obviously you got to focus on your two pieces still from the jump because no matter what you say, it's Ben and Joel's team, and that's what that is.
Yeah.
It ain't going to ever be Tobias Harris or Butler's. There's a better chance if it can become Tobias Harris's team before Jimmy Butler's. And I'll tell you why. And I know you're going to sound a little shocked by this, but it's not about ball. Literally about ball. It's off the court stuff. Tobias Harris is like a polished dude. I've been looking more stuff into him. He's a smart-ass, sharp dude that people can get behind. So I like that. They can get kind of his, culture and his want for improvement and growth.
So you looked into his social media?
Yeah, I saw that he's actually into. I know it sounds not corny, but he was reading 7 books. He was these are my book suggestions. These are what I'm reading right now, and I was all right. I see this dude's trying to smart. And when I saw what they compared him to from when he was drafted, and it was really smart guy, really good at fundamentals.
Okay. Yeah.
And I was yeah, smart guy. You need a smart guy on the court. You got to start building a team that has a high IQ,
That's a good point. That's why LeBron is so praised. Even though LeBron didn't go to college, but you don't have to go to college or anything like that to be an intelligent, smart guy.
Right.
Now, that's interesting that you think the image, your image has to do with if you can be the leader of a team. Because who do you
want to model yourself after?
Yeah, it's more blatant than ever, but I think that we get that from the teams too, because social media is so involved. Whoever they post the most or talk most about, it's he's the leader. Because usually it's the best player. That stuff just works hand in hand. Joel Embiid's the leader of the Sixers. I don't care what anyone says. He is. He is the anchor on the block. Guess what? Sometimes I can cross you up and drive for a dunk or throw a Euro step or hit threes coming off screens. Yeah, I can do that too. And I'm the anchor down low. No one's getting by me. I'm the probably top 3 best shot blocker in the league. So just off that alone, Embiid's the leader. And then I don't see how I can see what you're saying about Tobias Harris, and the fans are gonna love him.
I think they will.
Dude works hard. Got traded from the Magic to the Pistons, and then got traded to the Clippers from the Pistons, and now got traded from the Clippers to Philly. Dude just grinds, works hard.
Now he's finally on a team that's committed, so that looks good for us.
And he got traded in his best year. Now, let's go to James Ennis. We got to talk about James Ennis. Good pickup. Don't know why the Rockets are giving away their wings, who helped them last year.
Yeah, it was self-fire. I felt they were just knocking pieces off. I remember they got somebody earlier in the week, which was a good play for them. Do you remember who it was?
It was Nick Stauskas. Then they dealt him.
Oh.
The Rockets are all over the place.
They don't. Yeah, I don't know what the hell's going on there. Then
the Rockets are all over the place. But James Ennis is going to do what he did for the Rockets. 3-and-D guy, career I think 37% three-point percentage guy, and then I think about 36 point something, so pretty much 37 off catch and shoot. So good, 3-and-D guy.
Good.
Next one is the blockbuster, and another blockbuster kind of is. I don't know if it's definitely gonna make you upset. I've been done. Put my ashes out for this. Jonathon Simmons from the Orlando Magic gets traded to the Philadelphia 76ers, and also the Sixers received 2020 first-round pick and a 2019 second-round pick. And the Orlando Magic receive the prodigy, Markelle Fultz. How do you feel?
So, I think what everybody needed in this scenario was just actually a moment, okay? And I think about it now because when I initially heard the news, I texted everybody at 2:20 in the group chat, and I said, will Markelle Fultz be on the team by 3 o'clock? And a couple people said yes, and then we saw what happened. Well, as I saw it happen and I saw it go down, I looked at myself and I said, you know what? There was nothing else that could be done here. There really wasn't, okay? And as much as I root for him, I root the best for him, it wasn't going to work out on this team. And I don't think it could. We were a team that couldn't wait for something else to happen. This is a happen now team. If you don't produce for me now, you are not a valuable piece for my team. And I hate to say that because I was a big fan of Markelle, but we had to move on from it. Best of luck for him. Orlando does have 35 Chick-fil-A's, so he'll be fitting right in.
The good part.
But
yeah,
it's tough.
And if he ever gets upset, he can go to Disney World. It's kind of close, He'll be good.
He's always in his feelings. He's sensitive. You want to talk about sensitive?
Definitely, but
literally, he's quiet sensitive.
I agree that they couldn't wait any longer, and again, kudos to EB for finding this move because you got picks back. If you were a person detracting about trading Landry Shamet and picks to the Clippers, well, you got some back. And the draft position only matters what you do with it, like I said. And you got a decent player who's not making too much money. He's making $6 million this year and $5.7 next year. Now,
which is less than what Markelle was making.
Around the same. That's why they had to match salaries. And Fultz, yeah, they couldn't wait for you any longer, and his problems were too much of an eyebrow raiser because of
lack of transparency.
Yeah, it was not as transparent. Like Embiid, when he was going through his injuries, it was like a back, a knee, a foot, whatever. There was multiple ones, but you knew what they were. And then Ben Simmons just had a foot. But these guys, like Joel Embiid, obviously compared to the best center of all time, or top 5 in Hakeem Olajuwon, and then Ben Simmons compared or mentioned. I think people take compared to literally, but he is similar to them, similar to Magic Johnson and LeBron James in the same breath. So that's why you could draft him away for him. But Markelle Fultz, although James Harden is amazing now, he also did start in the NBA as just a good NBA player. And he became who he is today. Which is fine. I hope Markelle Fultz becomes awesome. I really don't even care. I
hope he finds himself and gets buckets. I mean, just from a ball player standpoint, but
yeah.
That's really all I got to say. I think this will probably be the last time we talk about Markelle this year, considering he's on a new team and he probably won't play. So it's not our problem anymore, which is
relief.
Which is a relief.
Yeah, so salute to Markelle. Best of luck from the Outlet Pass podcast. Now, another thing with the Sixers. A lot of Sixers talk because this is the most Sixers talk consecutively that we've done. But what's the rotation like after the trade? We know the 5. I named the 5. What's the bench looking like?
So, first man off the bench would have to be James Ennis, right? Before McConnell. I think he has some decent talent underneath of him.
I would have to agree.
Does he become your 6th man? And then McConnell, Bolden, then Simmons? I still think there's a place for Bolden on this team. I don't know if you think that's crazy.
No, I'm with you.
And then Boban just gets backup center minutes. But I think Jonah should probably play on average more minutes a night, or just based on matchups, he should be in more. But you'll see Boban get 12 minutes a night and be efficient during it.
Yeah, I think they're definitely going to do a couple minutes with, I think the bulk of Boban's time should be spent with him at the 5 and Jonah Bolden as the stretch 4.
Really? You want that?
Because I think Jonah's more athletic than a lot of backup stretch 4s because they're not as athletic or quick as him.
Mm-hmm.
He can be, and he's a bully down low. Like, he's kind of frail, but he's pretty strong. Like, he was wrestling with DeMarcus Cousins. He was putting up a good fight. DeMarcus was complaining for fouls, and he blocked him. He moved him, but then when he went up, he's so long he could block him. So I like Jonah Bolden because then you have two like towers in there, just like when Joel and Boban get like 3 minutes together. How awesome would that be?
Bro, they'll never get minutes together. I don't know if you'll see that.
I think you can see like maybe like
I don't know
a
if
little bit. That'd be crazy.
Like that.
I would try it if they're like. I would try it if they play the Hawks again. I would definitely try it.
We play the Hawks again. Shout out to the Hawks. 18 wins. More than I thought they had today when I talked about it with the kid on my team.
And Mike Scott and Jonathon Simmons are the last guys. Furkan, Amir, and Haywood Highsmith are not in the rotation.
They are not in the rotation. You got to make sure that you give more respect to Shake than you do Highwood Smith. But
Shake is probably going to get sent down.
I know. Well, dude, he's efficient.
Sometimes he doesn't.
10 of his first 25 threes, I think I saw.
That's good. I like Shake. Good. He just has to. He needs a little more developing to do.
Mm-hmm.
And
there's no real role for him on this team right now, anyway.
Yeah, more time.
So let him get more time.
So you build your guys who are going to help play because like Mike Scott's probably not going to be here next year. James Ennis probably isn't. Jonathon Simmons is because of his contract. Furkan's not going to be here this year. So then you send Highsmith and Milton down and see how they do. That's how that goes. And
next, Highsmith next, whatever the hell his name is.
Haywood Highsmith. He has some nice stats.
Oh God!
I don't have him in front of me, but he has good stats. We'll talk about this when it's not being recorded, so it doesn't matter for the people.
Yeah, he's irrelevant. Facts.
And real quick, since we mentioned the Heat earlier, Tyler Johnson went to the Suns with Wayne Ellington. And Wayne Ellington is going to be waived, most likely. Are the Sixers going to get him? Let's predict.
If we have the cash, yes, I would like to try. But it won't be simple.
All right. You didn't give me a definitive answer. You mentioned all the answers. Do you,
I'll say this.
Dante, think the Sixers are going to get Wayne Ellington? Yes or no?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Are you going to cut Amir Johnson for it?
Yeah.
Okay. Then there we go. As long as you're okay with that.
I love Amir. Puts in the hard work when he's in there. Great professional, cool. Yeah. Seems like a cool dude, especially with the fans and everything. When I watch him shoot around, always does the alleyway shot. Cool dude. But it's business, Amir Johnson. Just business. Now, speaking of a team getting to business, the Raptors traded for Marc Gasol. Before we react to that, because he has become, in the recent years, the better Gasol because he's younger, they got the Grizzlies in return got Jonas Valanciunas, C.J. Miles, DeLon Wright, and a 2024 second-round pick. I think they gave up too much. It's a good deal because you literally just got an older Jonas Valanciunas, and let's see, you gave up 3 of your bench players. Good thing Toronto's so deep, which is why it's kind of okay. That's why NBA TV, when I was watching the trade deadline special today, we're praising them for this move. What do you think about this move?
I'm okay with it. I think this is a great move. Jonas Valanciunas just got back from being injured. Literally, he just got back. Miles and Wright, I can get a lot of players that could score 6 points a game. So
DeLon Wright kills the Sixers.
Yeah, well,
we don't have anybody that can guard guards.
We do now, don't we?
Well, yeah, now we do, but still good players.
Yeah, I think maybe Toronto should have known a little more, which they did, obviously. Should have taken into consideration more that Memphis was really sellers at this deadline.
Well, they sold half of their team.
Yeah, so they maybe could have took advantage of that a little more. But I mean, overall, I think
Okay.
You didn't give up much.
And they weren't. The Raptors weren't done because then they traded Greg Monroe and a second-round pick to Brooklyn, and Brooklyn waived Greg Monroe. So they got rid of their other pick.
Sick about that they got rid of Monroe. He was eating the Sixers last week on the offensive glass.
He's big. He's a good post player.
Big, yeah.
Now,
Husky boy.
It's time to fear the deer. I literally do fear the deer, honestly, because the Bucks traded for the other desirable stretch four that the Sixers could have had. This would have made the Sixers a perfect team. Nikola Mirotic, acquired from the New Orleans Pelicans, and the Milwaukee Bucks traded Stanley Johnson and former Sixer Jason Smith. What do you think about the deal?
If you look at it, literally, it's Thon Maker and Jason Smith for him, which makes me sick because Stanley Johnson, I don't even know if he even touched base in Milwaukee, bro. He literally got just traded by Detroit, went to Milwaukee, I guess, bounced right to New Orleans.
Yeah, it was airport.
I guess it's a better spot than Milwaukee. I wouldn't want to be there.
Yeah, he pretty much did a layover in Milwaukee and then just went to New Orleans.
Damn, disrespect they did to Stanley Johnson.
He's
a good player. He's like a little bull.
He's decent. He's young though, so he's only like his second and third year in the league. He'll find his way. He'll be a good role player, for sure. It's usually what happens in the league. Either you're really good. I say this all the time. Like people always go, "Oh, Tyreek Evans is still playing." Like sometimes you're not like crazy good to become a superstar or star, where like people who don't watch basketball for 82 games know you. And then you just grind in the league because you play ball. That's what you do.
Yeah, you gotta get the grinders.
Now, I want to talk about the Mirotic deal. This is very strategic. I found out from the Bucks. Obviously, all these moves are supposed to be strategic, but he fits right into their offense. Literally, the Bucks shot chart this season is literally all like wing threes at the top, like by where it says the NBA logo or the arena name, or right around the rim. And Mirotic has shot more three-pointers in his career than twos. And guess what it does? If him, Chris Middleton, Brook Lopez, and Eric Bledsoe on the floor. Giannis has one-on-one for 25 feet towards the rim. Guess what? You can't stop him.
You cannot, unfortunately. That could be a pain. Well, we did get better as well. Everybody got better in this, so we just got to see what chemistry works the best, because at that point, anybody could add players.
Yeah. Do you think Boston won at any time during this deadline because of Anthony Davis not moving?
I don't buy that. If a man comes out and says he don't want to go there, then even trade him. But what's he going to not play for you? It's going to be interesting to see if he plays now. He said he would, but what happens? It's so awkward.
He'll just play.
So awkward.
He'll probably just walk in, like, "Hey guys, I want to not be here, but we can still play ball." I don't know. There's still some of those guys are his friends on the team, so they understand that he wants to leave.
Yeah.
And
Drew said he was there because of him.
Yeah.
90% there because of him.
He's just fed up. And we'll get more about Anthony Davis. I just want to tell you one fun fact about the Bucks, and then we'll move on to another team. Is that 5 former Bucks were traded on the trade deadline day. Jabari Parker, Michael Beasley, Greg Monroe, Brandon Knight, and MCW. Ain't that wild?
Bad water there. Bad water. Giannis don't know what good water is because Greek's got the bad water, so that's why they don't know what's good.
Maybe that's why Giannis likes Milwaukee so much. Now, a place Giannis would like definitely, if he could go there, is LA. And the Clippers are really active. Really active. Still a good team, but they pretty much just are changing the plans. They're showing us what they're going to do. They're setting up for the summer. Clippers traded Tobias Harris, Boban, Mike Scott for a young Landry Shamet, Wilson Chandler, Mike Muscala, and picks. Picks are good, cheap, young players. Wilson Chandler, Mike Muscala, 1-year deals, not re-signing them. Trade Avery Bradley, who has kind of a decent amount of contract, for Garrett Temple and JaMychal Green of the Memphis Grizzlies. Pretty sure those guys are on long-term deals. And they also waived Marcin Gortat, another old player. Then they traded Muscala for Michael Beasley and Zubac of the Lakers. Zubac is actually nice. And Beasley, 1-year deal. And then they waived Milos Teodosic, whatever his name is. Old dude. So They're showing them what they're gonna do, and it's been reported that Kawhi likes the Clippers, and the Clippers are a dark horse for Kevin Durant. Reportedly, they have a grand plan of signing Kevin Durant and Kawhi Leonard in free agency this summer. Now, what they didn't get rid of Lou Williams or Shai Gilgeous-Alexander or Danilo Gallinari. So if you get top 3 offensive player in the league in Kevin Durant and then top 3 two-way player in Kawhi Leonard, it changes the landscape of your team.
Yes, in the whole league.
Yeah, and the league. If they just
in the whole league,
make the right moves behind that.
Let me tell you, KD mentioned, they asked him, what players do you like? He said he liked Shai. Earlier in the season, they asked him who he liked out of the young guys, and he said Shai.
Well, we were Shai guys.
Interesting to me. Yeah, I'm a Shai guy.
Yeah, you put me on. You were like, did you see any of him? And I had to watch his highlights because you had the Sixers mic on him. He's good. And the Clippers were super active. And guess who works for the Clippers?
Who does?
The logo, number 44, Jerry West. Dude, he just builds winners. And I don't understand how the Clippers got Jerry West and he doesn't want to work with the Lakers. And I'll get more into the Lakers are just annoying me right now. But we have one more trade to discuss. That broke it was a big deal last week. Kristaps Porzingis, Godzingas, to the Dallas Mavericks, with Dallas receiving Porzingis, Tim Hardaway Jr., and Trey Burke. Let's see.
And Courtney
Lee. I was trying to read that. I spelled Lee with one E, so I was like, who is that? Some malfunctions over here. And the Knicks received Dennis Smith Jr., who they should have drafted, DeAndre Jordan, 1-year deal, Wesley Matthews, who's now been bought out and is on the Indiana Pacers, and 2 first-round picks. Now, as of last week and today, the Dallas Mavericks won this deal because the Knicks are making this move, in my opinion, with their plan, not the best case scenario, their plan to sign either KD and Kyrie or Kyrie and Jimmy Butler, along with getting somebody like Zion Williamson. It's hard to get people to play for you at a max contract on a team that doesn't win. And although they do have good young players, that is just very unrealistic and very Knicks, even though they don't have any bad contracts on the books. They finally don't have that. Yeah, finally
took them all off, yeah. The first one that needed to get done was Joe Noah. They got that taken care of earlier. And then they moved the Courtney Lee and Hardaway. And, when someone like Porzingis says, hey, I don't want to be here, you almost have to listen, because I know it sucks this is the NBA now and they can do that, but you got to get some value or you're going to get nothing.
Yeah. And
that's just the truth.
The Mavericks got an upgrade over Harrison Barnes, who they traded earlier today to the Kings, in Tim Hardaway Jr. So, and let's talk about what the Mavericks got. They got more athletic Dirk. They got next Dirk, if he stays healthy and he does what he does.
If?
Yeah, obviously big ifs, and I'm throwing him out there with the probably top 10 greatest international players of all time. If I'm just saying some crazy ass things now, because I put him as the next Dirk, why don't I just step out more on the limb? Right? So
no, he is.
You have him, and imagine that pick and roll with Luka Doncic, who is the truth. And they still have a good coach in Rick Carlisle. What are you doing? Moving around over there?
Yeah, that was bad. My bad.
That was terrible. What are you doing?
Oh, shit. My apologies to everybody. Keep going.
You're still making the noise.
Oh, we're done.
Nah, all right, before we get back into the conversation, you got to tell me what that is.
It's the pillow. I'm leaning my head back.
Oh, okay. Why didn't you? Oh, whatever. It doesn't matter. That's great. Now, all right, what do you think about this Dallas trade?
Dallas, it was a great play for both sides. I think it was the same way that they intend. I would say it's option for mutual gain. Both sides created value for one another, and it benefited both. We will see who's the clear winner later, but in the short term, they did fine.
All right.
The 2 first-round picks is some good picks for Dallas. They're not going to be like that good, like right off the jump. So I don't expect that. They're in the West. Come on.
But they were hanging around this year with a 19-year-old leading them.
Yeah, I don't buy that. I don't buy the Dallas Mavericks. I don't buy it.
All right, so you buy more that the Knicks front office finally has a plan and is moving as a unit to make the team good again.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
I disagree. I think the Knicks are going to fuck it up.
They will F it up, but they're playing. You asked me if their plan was the right plan. That's what you asked me.
Okay.
And I said the plan's the right plan. If it happens, it's a different story.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. I think the plan is not the right plan. If what I think their plan is, because obviously we don't know, so I'm speculating, is that if your plan is to try and get Zion Williamson and KD and Kyrie, or Kyrie and Jimmy Butler, that is like the highest brass ring you could reach for. You know?
Mm-hmm.
In my mind. But, all right. We disagree. Cool. Now.
Yeah, that's fine.
No, I know. I'm just going to the next topic. I'm breezing through it. AD rumor mill. This was going on for the past 2 weeks. The Knicks and Lakers were the main players for the trade, or rumored to be, and the Celtics are in there. ESPN at some point aired a fake exchange between LeBron and AD because, they were pumping out Anthony Davis is a Laker. And I think that's partly ESPN's fault because they have a studio in L.A., and the biggest NBA reporter, Adrian Wojnarowski, works for ESPN now. Could have something to do with it. I don't know. So, to me, it was just annoying. I don't know if you felt any type of way seeing a new Anthony Davis trade report every other day that they're going to give 7 players. Oh, they're going to give you a tour of the Hollywood sign. Jack Nicholson's going to come over and eat with you to trade for Anthony Davis. Like, that's what it felt like because they just kept saying different things. Just kept adding to the package.
It became frustrating and you didn't know what was real and what wasn't. I would just say if you just got to decipher between like what is and what isn't, and sometimes there's a big gray area because, I when I saw some that didn't have Kuzma on them, then I saw ones with Kuzma, and I saw BI always on there, and then I saw one that never included Josh Hart, and I was waiting to see one with Josh Hart, but they never put him on there. And I was questioning why they kept doing that. I was like, he's a good piece.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I guess I must be wrong.
I was just sick of seeing a different trade proposal every other day because
it's just
maybe because it was my belief that I don't believe Anthony Davis is going to the Lakers, and I was a huge fan of the Pelicans being petty. They were not answering your calls.
Petty. That was petty. Top level petty.
Oh, it was awesome.
He can get stuff this summer for him because he's still not a free agent, right?
Yeah. Where did Alvin Gentry ever work with Greg Popovich? Because I'm going to see if he learned that from Greg Popovich.
Petty Pop.
Alvin Gentry
making a comeback.
Alvin Gentry and making a comeback, and Dell Demps is their GM. Let's see. No, he never worked with Pop. Well, they learned from afar. I really enjoyed that they were petty. Anthony Davis's dad chimed in. I hate when sports dads talk. Oh, guess what? Guess who's back? LaVar Ball. We'll get to him too.
LaVar is back.
He prefers Anthony Davis's dad doesn't prefer Boston because lack of loyalty. Look, man. I'm sick of this whole narrative that you need to be loyal. The only people you need to be loyal to are the coaches and the players around you. If they decide to make a move to trade you, if they said one thing, guess what? Plans change. That's how life goes. And you can do the same thing in sports. Guess what? And we're going to talk about it too. I'm just convoluting all the stories together because these are the closest examples. Kyrie doesn't really know if he wants to sign with Boston this year. Resign. Guess what he said in October or September when they had a game or something? He was on the mic. He said he intends on resigning. Words, guys. Intends. That's what he plans on doing. Plans change. So
plans do change.
I don't like the whole lack of loyalty. Nobody's loyal. They like where they're comfortable, where they work, who they like at the work, how much they make. There's a bunch of things that go into it. Loyalty. You're loyal to the guys you step on the floor with, not the owner and stuff like that. And yes, they have been in the past, but obviously it's changing.
I totally agree with that. Yeah.
And and it sounds like I'm defending the teams. I just think everybody should have this mentality: is that why should they be loyal now when the best player in the league, LeBron, changed all type of loyalty to teams because he started the super team thing. Like blatant super teams. I know Boston was first with their big three, but LeBron started super blatant teams where he didn't really care. He probably liked Pat Riley, but he didn't really care. He wanted to go play with Dwayne Wade, his best friend, and to win championships, which they did and knew they could do. So that's where my lack of loyalty. I don't know how much you think about Anthony Davis's dad. That just pissed me off. A lot of things annoyed me about the trade deadline surrounding this stuff. I'm realizing that. And AD has a trade list. Sorry.
It just frustrates me that, AD it has the relationship with Clutch Sports, and that's obviously Rich Paul and LeBron's team. So that was something that was like, okay, well, do they both have Rich Paul's ear, or does LeBron have Rich Paul's ear feeding whatever to Anthony Davis? And I think it's that way. And LeBron's just not trying to act like a villain at all here.
No, he's not saying nothing.
He's not saying nothing, which is the
smartest thing you can do.
Policy. Yeah.
And now let me get to AD's trade list. I believe it was hold on, let me just open this up. It's Clippers. Let's see, a list of teams. Beyond the Lakers and Knicks, here's a list of teams. I keep saying list. The Clippers I saw were one, and that was it because they're not revealing anything. The Bucks, too. Those were the two teams I do remember.
Yeah, Bucks.
Which
Clippers,
would be
Bucks,
crazy.
Lakers.
Well, the Knicks and Lakers are already mentioned. And yeah, I saw earlier he intends to play every game to end season. Awesome.
Which is interesting. We'll see if it happens.
Probably won't.
Show me.
Yeah. We'll be watching. February through April is going to be fun, and then the playoffs are going to be fun. Now, LaVar Ball, he's back. When Lonzo wasn't traded, now he doesn't want him to be traded. The Pelicans at the time says the Suns are the best fit. Dog, you stayed quiet this whole time. Why are you back? Can you answer for him?
He realized he was about to leave LA. He had to defend his boy. He got nervous. He started chirping.
Whatever, I guess.
Simple.
It just annoys me because your oldest son, right now, and I think probably, even though I am high on LaMelo Ball, from what I've seen is that Lonzo's going to be the best player out of the three, and he's the quietest one. And why wouldn't you just have because that's what he wants. He makes his music. He's just cool doing his thing on Instagram, whatever. He posted something funny when he didn't get traded. I think it was an old Eminem thing. And he just plays basketball and he makes music sometimes. He is quiet on the court, but people love playing with him because he's a pass first guy. Now it doesn't help. We said this, right? That he hurts his son's name and perception amongst fans. I don't know about players. He did with Patrick Beverly. Sorry. Patrick Beverly went super, defended him super hard, even though Pat usually does that, but because of that, he went hard. Now, Kyrie, interested in reuniting with LeBron. How do you feel? I guess they've made up.
I think it kind of still has to do with the fact of how his views are towards Boston. And if they weren't a little sour, which is kind of what I'm feeling, then I don't know if this LeBron amended their relationship. I wouldn't believe it as much, but since you see what happened in Boston, you would have to say that it's very feasible.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
It can happen. I can picture it. And then, as I mentioned earlier, commitment to the Celtics. He said, quote, Kyrie Irving, quote, I don't owe anyone shit when they asked about if he's staying and just more free agent questions. And somebody else snapped earlier last night, right? And you were on board with Kevin Durant's comments to the media, correct?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If you guys didn't see, I have the quote, I come here and go to work every day. I don't cause no problems. I play the right way. What's the problem? What am I doing to y'all? This is when he was asked about a trade, or no, not trade, talking to Porzingis and possibly signing with the Knicks. And does he know anything about that? When his beef is talking about things in the summer while basketball is still being played, which I can see.
Yeah, and Kyrie has that mentality a little bit too, where he's like, "Yo, we're going to talk about ball. We're going to talk about the stuff that doesn't concern me," And I think that might be one of his response, And also when he said, "I don't know anybody, anything," with the explicit, it was in a little slump the Celtics had. He was probably frustrated. He was probably seeing Gordon Hayward as a shell of himself, scoring 10 points a game, and he was probably frustrated. Jaylen Brown couldn't hit a three to save his life. Things are looking up, obviously now, but it was a point where that's when he said it.
Yeah.
If you're winning, things aren't said. If you're losing, chirp.
Stuff comes out.
Start to chirp. Unless you're KD, then you're winning, but you still chirp because you're sensitive as hell.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's my problem with KD and Kyrie a little bit. Because if we're gonna group them, the best answer is just like, yeah, I ain't talking about that right now.
Mm-hmm.
You could say that every time, because they might go harder. They might learn if you say that exact thing every time. They might find ways to try and get the answer out of you because they're doing their job. Even though I feel like they should talk more about what's happening on the court. But if you just don't answer or you just get up and leave, even that shows you're more sensitive, that's like, I don't really want to deal with this anymore. Maybe that would have been worse, but in my head, it's like, just don't answer the questions. You can just say next.
And I saw Mike Greenberg said it best, that like literally it's a lot of the stuff that social media has done and not the actual media. And if everything that he reads and all the burner stuff, it kind of just got to him, and he's concerned too much with the social media, KD, and that kind of was his worst enemy.
Okay.
So he kind of took out on the actual Obviously, some of them are snakes, don't get me wrong, but, Stephen A. doing some deep diving, that's what we rely on sometimes, Whatever. How are you going to disrespect it?
I have a counterpoint to Mike Greenberg, what you said he said. Is that he said social media's fault. But if the media asks questions that are asked on social media, you think they either have those same questions or got them from social media, because guess what? People are talking. They want people to read what they write or what they report. So it's both. That's why it's social media.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about media. It's the same thing. So I understand what he's saying, but the news. Watch ESPN. Watch what they talk about on the jump and stuff like that. They talk about things that happen on social media because it's hand in hand.
Yeah, there's a relevance level that they're trying to still maintain.
So KD, try and not be as sensitive, but we know that won't happen. Now, more Lakers talk is that Luke Walton might be on his way out, which is funny because it brings up a relevant picture and tweet I saw from somebody named @BasicallyB. LeBron effect. Coach loses all authority. Just join the locker room. Roster instability. Media circus. Trade everybody mentality. Heightened bitch assness. Front office / ownership manipulation. So that's all happening. Somebody quote tweeted that and said NBA Finals. But it doesn't have to do with what's going on with the Lakers because they're not going to the NBA Finals. So that's true. Which, they're not wrong, right? All those points?
Yes, they are not wrong.
And apparently there was an altercation between guys, former Laker now, Michael Beasley, and other veterans, maybe probably Rajon Rondo, but the only name I remember seeing is Michael Beasley. And Jason Kidd is in the mix to replace Luke Walton as coach. How do you feel about LeBron?
Well, they're already looking for replacements? Oh, my gosh.
That's what on RealGM.com article was on there.
I don't see what Jason Kidd's going to do that much different that he couldn't do on Milwaukee. He didn't help anybody grow in Milwaukee. Let's be real. Giannis was developing himself. Jason Kidd didn't have much to do with that. That's all I got for you on that. He's not their replacement, but somebody else. Give me Van Gundy, bro. I don't know if he'll ever do it with LeBron, but Mark Jackson. Give me somebody that can
which
come
Van
back
Gundy?
out.
Jeff or Stan?
Jeff.
Okay, Jeff. Interesting candidates. But I don't know. I think Luke Walton needs a better. He don't got no respect for his name.
Needs more time. That's what it comes down to,
there
bro.
You go. The audio was really bad on that one.
Yeah, I'm sorry. My hand was kind of close to my mouth.
Jesus. I hope people don't get their ears blown out tomorrow. Now.
Jeez. My apologies.
Yeah, you got to apologize. The Brooklyn Nets might be getting their star. No, they are, actually. Coach Kenny Atkinson said today, being asked by the media, so because of their Twitter, is that Caris LeVert is in tomorrow. That was yesterday, the 7th. Now, what a speedy recovery. And they're in great position. If you want a feel-good story, since you guys were hung up on, some of you were hung up on the Mikal Bridges thing, you know how that's a feel-good story and all. The guy who just almost popped his knee out of his, knee area, I don't know, I'm not a doctor, I don't know that stuff, but is coming back in the same season?
Crazy. I can't believe, I'm still in awe looking at this. I'm looking at it says he's going to be back tomorrow. Isn't that just, go for him, bro. That was scary.
Yeah.
You know, and not for nothing. If he played this whole season, he's the all-star coming from the Brooklyn Nets, and it's not D'Angelo Russell. No cap.
Okay, now let's go. Let's just run through everybody what's going on All-Star Weekend.
All right, let's see what we got All-Stars.
Now let's start with the teams which have been drafted tonight. Team LeBron is LeBron, Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, Kawhi Leonard, James Harden, Anthony Davis, Klay Thompson, Damian Lillard, Ben Simmons, LaMarcus Aldridge, Karl Anthony Towns, Bradley Beal, Dwayne Wade. Now, Team Giannis is Giannis.
Squad.
Yeah, squad. Sorry, I should have let you pause. I should have paused. Whatever. And we're just going to pick who he thinks is going to win. Giannis Antetokounmpo, Steph Curry, Joel Embiid, Paul George, Kemba Walker, Chris Middleton, Nikolai Jokic, Russell Westbrook, Blake Griffin, D'Angelo Russell, Nikolai Vucevic, Kyle Lowry, Dirk Nowitzki. Now, out of Team LeBron, Team Giannis, what do you got?
I'll take LeBron for 1,000. Come on, bro. Did you see his lineup? Look, if he was a GM this league, you think he would do some damage or what? Come on. I know these are all stars, and he obviously handpicked them, but my man was doing a smart play here. He was thinking, I'm going to get all these guys on my side for this game. We're going to do whatever with each other. Kawhi, you trying to play with me?
Politicking.
KD, you want to meet up in LA?
Is LeBron going to be tampering at All-Star?
Clay, what's good? You want to be my 3-and-D guy? What's good, Clay? You want to drop 20 a night in a Laker uniform?
So this is LeBron James, the GM LeBron in full effect? Is that what that is?
Yeah, only one thing made me nervous, and I hope it was just because it's Clutch Sports Love, but he made the move and traded for our boy Benny Dimes. That wasn't no joke. He traded away Russell so he can get Ben. He wanted Ben on his squad.
That's why I thought you liked them.
I think that was just for the Clutch Sports love that he has for Ben. And the Ben love. But, I think he selectively got Clay on his team and KD. But we already know the KD and LeBron relationship. They actually have a good relationship.
Yeah, they made a rap song.
Let's not ever get that twisted, What'd you say? They did what?
They made a rap song together.
Oh my gosh!
That's that. You have to be homies with somebody if you make a song with them, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would think so. Whatever. Now the Rising Stars game. We both got Team LeBron. Just to check.
Team Brown.
LeBron. Okay. Now Rising Stars game. Team USA has Jarrett Allen, Marvin Bagley III, Kevin Knox, John Collins, De'Aaron Fox, Jaren Jackson Jr., Kyle Kuzma, Donovan Mitchell, Jason Tatum, Trae Young. You got it?
Yep. Got a
squad. Yeah, this is the Rising Stars. These are going to be the next guys who are the All-Stars. That's the whole point. Now the world. OG Anunoby, DeAndre Ayton, Bojan Bogdanovic of the Sacramento Kings, Luka Doncic, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Riodons Caruks of the Brooklyn Nets, Lauri Markkanen of the Bulls, Josh Okogie of the Timberwolves, Sadie Osman of the Cavs, and last but not least because he's the best player on this team, Benny Dimes.
Ooh. Oh, that made me feel so much better that you said he's the best player on the team.
Yeah.
Because I've been seeing this for a straight 3-4 weeks now, and I can't get it out of my head with the Luka or Benny Dimes stuff. That answer still doesn't need to be answered, okay? That question doesn't need to be answered. Don't do it. We don't need to discuss it.
You know social media likes to jump shit.
We're going to let it play out for the next couple of years.
Well, at least give them
a lot of ifs.
Yeah. Definitely. All right, so who you got?
That thing.
Oh, yeah,
come on.
Who you got, World or USA?
I'm going World, cuz. Let's get it.
Dude, it's going to sound like we're really just like agreeing
you got
way too
World
much.
too?
No, I got the World, dude.
Yeah, come on. I think there's just a higher level of talent from the World. Like the best players in the world are better than the best players in the USA.
I agree, because I really, besides...
who's the best big man in the USA? Come on, bro. Like, Ayton actually will eat. Ayton's going to eat him alive. Nobody should disrespect Ayton.
He's taller.
Ayton's having a great season. Mm-hmm. I'm not an Ayton guy,
so
but he's having
Collins.
a great season. Yeah.
Just saying.
Ain't Ayton, though. Come on.
He's not.
And then we already know what Luka's doing.
Yeah, Luka. And then you got... Stop naming the stars. Luka, Ben, and DeAndre, the most known guys. I really like Laurie. I know you're a Laurie guy. I'm a Seti Osman guy. And I am a shy guy, and you're a shy guy.
Right, but I don't think that's where this game's going to get taken over. It's not by the medium tier guys.
Okay.
I think, of course, this game doesn't matter to them. Obviously,
It's going to get serious in spurts.
You think?
At some point, it does.
I want to see if Ben's going to do anything against Donovan Mitchell or Tatum tries to get smoked with Benny. But besides that, I don't see enough to have a talk about it. But I'd say I like the talent more on the World.
Okay, all right, then let's be lighthearted. Bold prediction: Ben Simmons ends Jared Allen's streak of blocking stars and dunks on him. Let's go. Now
I got a better chance of Luka dropping Jason Tatum in the game. That's what I got.
All right,
Boston lovers.
So for episode 12, we gotta come. We just get a mental note. We'll see who gets the predictions right. Now, 3-point contest.
So far, I got the one prediction correct, by the way.
Which one?
We predicted earlier in the season who would be Rookie of the Year, and I'm pretty sure I nailed that on the head unanimously with Luka.
Okay,
bang, bang, money gang. Lock that in.
My dark horses aren't really doing that well. One was hurt, and then he's playing well, but the Knicks were a crappy situation.
Mm-hmm.
But he made the Rising Stars team, so Kevin Knox, that's good. Lonnie Walker couldn't make it because he didn't play enough. Now, more All-Star festivities. 3-point contest. So then you got the Blood Splash brothers and Steph Curry competing. Dirk Nowitzki, Damian Lillard, Buddy Hield, Chris Middleton, Kemba Walker, Danny Green, Devin Booker, Joe Harris. Who you got?
Buddy Hield. No cap. No questions. That's who I got.
All right.
Buddy Hield to win it.
Since you said that, because I thought of, as I was reading the list, I was going to go Buddy Hield. Nah. Chris Middleton. He's got it.
Oh,
he's going to play the Paul George role of last year, except he's actually going to kill it, unlike Paul George. That's what's happening.
Oh.
Now, the dunk contest. Dennis Smith Jr., Miles Bridges, John Collins, Hamidou Diallo, who is of the Oklahoma City Thunder. In case you guys didn't know.
The Dennis Smith and Miles will be in the finals, and would love to see Miles win, but Dennis Smith will win.
Okay, I got Miles Bridges.
Oh, do you?
Yep.
I want Miles Bridges to win. To win. But Bridges, I don't think he'll win.
That's your pick.
I'm riding with him. I'm riding with Dennis Smith.
So now this is where the break is going to happen. See who wins the 3-point contest and dunk contest at last, since we agreed on the All-Star Game Rising Stars.
Yeah.
So next podcast we'll...
Buddy Hield, let's get it.
Chris Middleton, let's go. Fear the deer. Now, let's get the buy or sell. Random question, but I thought of it because when I'm at games, I just hate it. Should the NBA get rid of playing music during the game? You know how they play certain songs when they're coming up to start a possession?
I'm okay with it, but I think they got to stop it when the ball gets inbounded. I like it for the 1 second vibe, but it's got to stop. Sometimes they keep playing it for a couple seconds.
Yeah.
It might be the second quarter, but bro, show some respect for the game.
And I mean,
that's how I feel about that.
Music. So you're buying.
I buy. Yeah,
okay.
You should. I'm buying the fact that you need to at least get it out during when the ball's dribbled inbounds.
Okay, I buy
not
as
getting
well.
Brought up.
Now, next question: buy or sell? Luka being snubbed of the All-Star game.
I'll sell that. I think there's still guys ahead of him for his position. Yeah, the potential's there, but still guys ahead of him.
Yeah, I agree as well. Is that because Tobias Harris is over Luka Doncic, so I'll sell. Question: buy or sell? The Sixers and Clippers being the biggest winners at this trade deadline.
I could buy that as them as the 2 out of the 3 top teams that did well in this past week.
Who's your third?
2 of the I think you can make a case that Toronto really did good by that. I know you don't like that trade, but I think that could make, they're already a great team. Okay.
I got you.
I think it's more Toronto than Milwaukee, even though Milwaukee did great things as well.
Real quick. So, you think Toronto's moves were better than the Clippers' moves?
No, I think Clippers and Sixers are two of the 3 top best moves.
Okay, you're buying.
I don't think Dallas is quite up there. I know it's a great move, but it was a lot of moving pieces.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of money involved.
Well, I'll go. I buy as well. I think the Sixers are. That's why I wrote the question, because that's what I thought. And the last question had to do with last night. We kind of touched on it. Was KD being sensitive again, and should he be painted as the villain even more than he already is with how he ranted last night? Buy or sell?
I'm buying the fact that KD is the most sensitive dude in the league. Shout out to Jet for that one. We argued over this a little, and I came back to like my bearings essentially to planet Earth to realize that you could be the second best player in the world, but like that doesn't give you the right to be like go into the Warriors and then act like, oh, poor me. Don't give me the poor me, KD. You chose this. We didn't choose this. Yeah. You want to shut up and play basketball and not be all in the media, then just do like the cop out move. Just be like, oh, I want to go play ball. No, not rip into them.
Okay. I'll buy KD being sensitive as well. Now, that's the end of the trade deadline edition of the Outlet Pass Podcast, episode 11. You got anything to say to the people?
Yeah, I got a couple things. Just like to shout out a couple peeps that have been listening. Weekly listeners, they give us a lot of feedback. One of them being Serve. He was on those trades today, boy. He was getting them like 30 seconds before us. Yeah. He was sending them messages, and I was like, Bleacher didn't even get it to me yet. And Bleacher's, I don't know if I get some bad connection up here in Boston, but he was on it. So shout out to that. Shout out to Dominique. She's been showing love to the podcast every week. We haven't really mentioned that, but she's always posting a lot of the love we put up there. So good stuff for her. Thank you. We love that. And those Toronto fans, congrats. You know who you are.
All right. Damn. Maybe I'll come with shout-outs next week. I haven't really thought of it. But as always, whoever listens, if I don't talk to you on a daily basis, I am super appreciative that you even take some type of time to listen to me and Dante talk shit about basketball because we love it. Appreciate you so much. Now, you got anything else to plug, Don, before I get into our plugs?
No, that's it. I appreciate it.
All right. Now, here's the commercial of the podcast. You can follow the podcast on Instagram at the Outlet Pass Podcast, on Twitter at pass_podcast. Follow on SoundCloud, the Outlet Pass Podcast, Apple Podcast, the Outlet Pass Podcast. Rate, review, and subscribe. Spotify, the Outlet Pass Podcast, and YouTube, the Outlet Pass Podcast. Thank you guys so much for listening. Great talking to you, Don. This has been the Outlet Pass Podcast, the ball being our opinions, and we're passing it out to you. Peace.